husband, Andrew. That's finalist number 8, Ashley Ray Klinger, Mrs. Midwest International, and her husband, Andrew.
Finalist number 9, Mrs. Idaho International, Naomi Gibbs, escorted tonight by her husband, Rick. Mrs. Idaho International, finalist number 9, Naomi Gibbs, and her husband, Rick.
Finalist number 10 is Shayna Smith, Mrs. Tennessee International, escorted by her husband, Sergeant First Class Grant Smith. Is Shayna Smith, delegate number 10, Mrs. Tennessee International, and her husband, Sergeant First Class Grant Smith.
Finalist number 11, Laurie Long, Mrs. California International, escorted by her husband, Russell. California International, finalist number 11, Laurie Long, and her husband, Russell.
Finalist number 12 is Mrs. Michigan International, Melissa Pozza, escorted by her husband, Zoltan. That's finalist number 12, Mrs. Michigan International, Melissa Pozza, and her husband, Zoltan.
Finalist number 13, Stephanie Welter, Mrs. Minnesota International, escorted by her husband, Wade. Minnesota International, finalist number 13, Stephanie Welter, and her husband, Wade.
Finalist number 14 is Ashley Gann, Mrs. Alabama International, escorted by her husband, Derek. That's finalist number 14, Mrs. Alabama International, Ashley Gann, and her husband, Derek.
Finalist number 15, Mrs. Arkansas International, Lindsay Wright, escorted tonight by her husband, Max. Number 15, Mrs. Arkansas International, Lindsay Wright, and her husband, Max.
Finalist number 16 is Mrs. Haiti International, Judy Leger, escorted by her husband, Julio. Finalist number 16, Judy Leger, Mrs. Haiti International, and her husband, Julio.
And that was our last finalist in evening gown.
And that wraps up the competition events for 2017. I know I've said it before, but I'm so glad we get to host instead of judge. I don't think I could possibly pick one over another. They have an incredibly difficult task ahead of them.
They sure do, Kyle. And this has been a big week for our panel of judges.
You know, it's always a big week for everyone involved. The delegates, their families, the pageant staff, the production staff and crew, the list goes on and on. There's just so much that goes into an event like this.
It's true. It's an enormous amount of hard work, but it is also so much fun.
And for the second year in a row, we thought it would be fun to share with all of you a little snippet of what this week has been like.
So, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy this year's Week in Review video. And there is the week in review. It's pretty awesome to catch just a little glimpse of what this week entails. You know, a year as Mrs. International is a very, very full one, and you can't do it alone. It takes the great support of the pageant system with Mel and Mary at the helm, as well as their tremendous staff. And it takes the love and support of your family. So to everyone at the national office, and to all of the state directors, and especially to all of our husbands and families, we say a big thank you.
And right now is a good time to say thanks to all of the unseen people throughout this theater that have been working so hard to ensure this evening's program has gone perfectly. We'd like to say a big thank you to the local staff and technical crew here at the beautiful West Virginia Culture Center Theater, especially Commissioner Randall Reed Smith for all that he has done to bring this pageant here to West Virginia. So thank you.
And also a huge thank you goes out to Matt Davenport and his production staff, Lauren Floyd, Jeff Hall, Tanya Coker, Shakespeare, Jonathan Davenport, and of course, this guy right here, Mr. Kyle Henry. Well done.
And let's not leave out the amazing photography work of Clay Spann in the program book and Paula Preston, the pageant photographer. And of course, Joey Rutherford and the competitive image and all that they do for the reigning queen and the pageant itself.
And someone who doesn't get nearly the credit she deserves, how about a big round of applause for Suzanne Huddleston? And keep that going. One more round of applause for our judges chairperson, Susan Botek. And perhaps, most importantly, a huge thank you goes to Mary and Mel Richardson, because none of this would be possible without them.
We are getting so close to crowning Mrs. International 2017, but that means that one incredible woman will soon join the ranks of former Mrs. International title holders. She is truly a great example for all of us. In her final walk as Mrs. International, please make welcome Mrs. International 2016, Priscilla Pruitt.
Tonight, I am closing one of the most beautiful chapters in the book of my life. This past year, I've had the opportunity to travel around the world. From baby boxes, children's hospitals, heart walks, schools, to orphanages. 100 appearances later, and I am blown away. I never realized the impact Mrs. International would have on my life. First and foremost, I am grateful to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because without him, I am nothing. I grew up believing I was ugly, believing the lies, the bullies, and yet Jesus gave me beauty for my ashes, wiped my tears, and called me beautiful. I am humbled and eternally grateful to be used as the vessel for his goodness. Mary and Mel Richardson, thank you for this amazing system that is God-centered and honors women. Thank you for your heartfelt dedication to your queens, praying for them, spoiling them, and making them feel like the queens that they all are. Thank you. To our amazing sponsors, Clay Spann, Joey at the Competitive Image, Susie Boots, the Thomas Dunn Studio, Stephanie Summers, and Titleware. You all have been a huge asset in making my reign a success. Thank you. Clay, I've never felt so beautiful or more spoiled in my life. You're beyond talented. Thank you for sharing your gift with me. Joey at Competitive Image, thank you so much for being so generous and making me look like a queen on stage as well as off stage. We truly, truly have the greatest sponsors on the planet. To my husband, Sean, you are the only reason I stand up here today. Thank you for taking on the role as mommy, my chauffeur, my photographer, my assistant, my bodyguard, and my ATM machine. all so I could pursue my dreams. I know it hasn't been easy, but you sure made it feel that way. Your unconditional love is my greatest gift from God. Thank you to my family, my kids, for always being my greatest supporters and cheerleaders. I am so blessed to have each and every one of you. I adore you. I'm thankful to all the people who have stood by me throughout this journey. All of this was made possible because of you who supported me. To my sister queens, Garen and Amanda, I'm so proud of you both. I am so grateful to call you my sisters. I know that this is only the beginning for you, so all I can say is, watch out, world. To all the international staff, Kristen, Susan, Natasha, Suzanne, and everyone else behind the scenes, you are the backbone of this system. We can't do it without you. Thank you. To my successor, this is your moment to leave your mark on the world. Strive to reach as far, wide, and limitless as possible. And most importantly, wear your crown in your heart and not your head. For the last time, I am your Mrs. International, reminding you to choose love.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Mrs. International 2016, Priscilla Pruitt. Thank you, Priscilla.
In just moments, a new Mrs. International will be crowned.
And she will be joining a very special sisterhood.
But every one of this year's delegates are honored here tonight. Their past accomplishments and those yet to come are impressive and appreciated.
They make a positive difference in their families, in their communities, and around the world, and each one is an inspiration to us all.
They're also a wonderful reminder that each of us can make a positive impact on our world. And our next song of the evening is about just that.
And there's no one better to deliver that message than this year's pageant singer.
Ladies and gentlemen, singing the song Rise Up, please welcome back to our stage one more time, Miss Janelle Arthur.
Broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out and move the mountains. We can walk it out and move the mountains. And we'll rise up, rise like the day, rise up, rise unafraid, rise up, do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, out like the waves, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up, do it 1,000 times again. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, I know you feel like dying, but I promise you we'll bring the world to its feet and move the mountains, bring the world to its feet and move the mountains. I'll rise up, eyes unafraid, I'll rise up, rise like the day, I'll rise up, do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, out like the waves, I'll rise up, let's make welcome back to the stage all of your 2017 Mrs. International delegates. We'll rise up out of the way, we'll rise up, eyes unafraid, we'll rise up, do it 1,000 times again.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your pageant singer, Janelle Arthur, and your 2017 Mrs. International delegates. Welcome back, ladies. It's great to see you all again. How about one more round of applause for Janelle Arthur? Wow. What an incredible night this has been.
Absolutely, but the best is yet to come as we ask that big question.
Judges, may we have the envelope, please?
And while Kyle is getting the envelope, I'd like to let everyone know that official pictures of our queen and our court will be taken on stage immediately following the show, and so public access to the stage will be strictly prohibited. And finally, I'd like to say to our delegates that Kyle and I have truly, truly enjoyed our time with you. You've all been incredible.
I couldn't agree more, Rebecca, and we wish each of you the very best.
At this time, we would once again like to bring out Mrs. International 2016, Priscilla Pruitt. Ladies, as we announce our court and winner, please step forward to receive your award from Priscilla.
Beginning with the award for fourth runner-up. Our fourth runner-up for Mrs. International 2017 is Mrs. Arkansas International, Lindsay Wright.